Hello all. I thought I'd give X-Men 97 a watch, since I was a fan of the original animated show. Though I wasn't able to watch it in its entirety at the time, I should probably give it a rewatch on Disney Plus since I see it's on there. I've also read the comics, most of the pre-New X-Men in reprints, but I've been buying them proper since issue 162, and I've got all the back issues. I was a little unsure about how this was going to go, given all the usual press releases from Disney Marvel, touting the usual talking points and Morph's reappearance and certain changes. Firstly, I hate the new version of the theme tune. It reeks of someone trying too hard. It really didn't need updating, it was perfect as it was. The first episode I found a bit meh. I wasn't really engaged, but to be fair, I remember the first couple of episodes of the original not really grabbing me either. There's a lot of exposition which wasn't too clunky and clearly aimed at a new audience, so necessary, but for me it was totally superfluous and probably impacted my enjoyment. The second episode steps it up a notch and was considerably better. There felt like there was more peril and threat. It also had a couple of nice speeches with, believe it or not, an actual moral message, and it sets up some potentially interesting team dynamics. Similar to the original series, they're putting a spin on the original comic book stories. For example, episode 2 is reminiscent of issue 200. The animation is nice, echoing back to the style of the original animated series, but with a bit more polish. Not ignoring the big white elephant, Morph was clearly reintroduced so they could put whatever modern ideology on they wanted, because he's a relatively unknown character. It's similar to what they did with the Eternals for the same reasons, by their own words, not mine. However, that aside, the character sticks out like a sore thumb in the group dynamics. He doesn't belong, and every time he morphs into another classic X-Man, you just wish you were seeing that character instead. They're also going to have to lean into the gender question because that's not something that will come out in normal conversation in a show like this. So I wait to see how they handle that. Some of the voice work is okay, some is bad, particularly Rogue's voice, which is like a cheese grater on my eardrums. She actually sounds more like Harley Quinn than Rogue. And surprisingly, or rather not surprisingly for those creating things for a modern audience, once again Bishop is portrayed as being African American instead of his actual ethnicity of Australian Aborigine. It adds an extra irony because they're leaning heavily on the race analogy, especially in one on-the-nose conversation. As an aside, despite many claims otherwise, it's not why the X-Men were created or what they initially represented, but that, amongst a multitude of other analogies, can fit, and it's fine. I'm going to keep watching and see how it pans out. The second episode intrigued me enough to give it a further look, though it's not must watch for me, and there were a couple of days between my watching each episode. So, have you seen it, and what did you think? Did it hit that nostalgia buzz for you, or just make you want to watch the original series instead? If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and peace out.